Uh, Today we are going to discuss on running projects. Okay, so far using Maven, we are successfully building our project and we are able to see the jar, that is the output of the build process. Okay, now we want to run that jar. Today we look into that, and today we also look into Maven profiles. Okay, Maven build profiles. Okay, first thing, running a project having no dependencies. Okay, now I'll create a separate project each time today to explain these things. Okay, we'll create a new Maven project. Here, create a simple project. It says skip archetype selection. I don't want to select archetypes. I want to create on my own. Okay, I selected that. Next, it will simply ask these four things. These four are mandatory. First four. Okay. So group ID, I'll give something like com.sidhu. Artifact ID, I'll name it as uh, Maven underscore no. I'll call it ND. That means no dependencies. I'll explain what does it mean, just to for you to understand by looking at the project name. I just named it underscore ND. That is no dependencies. Okay, and version, the snapshot version. Okay, and packaging jar only. Click finish. Okay, see, the project got created. Okay, it has all the folders: source main Java, source main resources, source test Java, source test resources, default JRE library, Maven dependencies, because we have not added any dependencies, it's empty. Then the target folder, nothing is there because we have not built anything, and the pom.xml is here. If I open this pom.xml, it contains the very basic information. Okay, that is group ID, artifact ID, version. Okay, and if I go to source main Java, where my source code should be present, nothing is there. Okay, if I go to the other projects, I created them using archetypes, existing archetypes. So by default, they have come up with some test1.java, app test app.java, like that. Okay, but when we create a new project without using archetypes, it will not create any source code inside it. It will create empty folder. Similarly, for source test Java, there you find app test.java in this project, which was created using archetypes. Okay, so just remember, if you don't select any archetype, uh, all the folders will get created, but there will be no sample source code and sample source test code. Okay, okay, now I'll create a new class inside it. Here it's asking me to give you some package name. I'll give something like functions. Okay, uh, and name it as first. Would like to add main method to it. Okay, now file got created. Okay, what I'll do, I'll create another classes also. This is simple Java project I'm creating. Inside the same package, I will name it as util. Okay, util class. Okay, and it will not contain main method. Inside util class, I'll write a simple method. Says something like this. Hmm, public int sum I comma int j, return I plus j, very basic test. Okay, from the main method I'll create object of that util class, util u equal to new util, and I would like to uh, int sum equal to u dot add, no, u dot sum method is there, and I'll pass some 2 comma 3 comma 5 to it. Okay, and I would like to print out that sum. Sum is sum. Okay, and also I'll do at the starting of the main method I'll get something like welcome, and at the end I'll write goodbye. Okay, so my test is ready. If I run it from here, okay, it simply printed the output, so it's working fine. Now it's time to build this project. Okay, generate jar, run the jar. Okay, I want to run the same piece of code from command line, not from Eclipse. Okay, so first thing I'll do is I simply go to the location where this project is there. See, what I mean to say, that is on no dependencies. This project is having no dependencies. That means it is not using any third-party jar like Selenium, Apache POI. It's not using anything. It's just using the all the classes that come pre-installed along with the JDK. Whenever you install Java, whatever you get all these things. Okay, you are just using that. I am not using any third-party dependency like Selenium, Apache POI or anything else. Okay, now I'll go to the location where this project is, workspace, Maven ND. I'll press shift right click, open command window here. Okay, and I will do a mvn clean install. Okay, build success. Let us go and see what got created. Now target is there. Inside target all these got created, and I also have this jar file. Okay, maven nd slash this hyphen 001 snapshot. Okay, this is the jar file, and if I go to classes section, it will have all the classes, the source code. Okay, first function util, these are the, this is first function.java, util.java. Okay, this classes folder has the compiled code. So once the code is compiled, .java becomes .class. Okay, first function.java after compilation became first function.class. Similarly, util.java is now util.class. This is the compiled code. Okay, this is classes folder. Then if I go to test classes, so under source test Java there is no class. That's why this folder is empty. Okay, test classes does not have anything. Okay, now inside the target you will find this jar file. Let us see what this jar file has. Okay, right click on it. So 7-zip open archive. It's like opening any other zip folder. Okay, opening jar is nothing but like jar is a kind of zipping. Okay, so now it has the package name called functions. Functions has first function dot class. Okay, and it has this meta inf. Okay, so basically some metadata about your project. Okay, so manifest version architecture built by Sidhu, created by Apache Maven. Okay, build JDK. So this is kind of metadata. Okay, so if I come back inside this folder, I mean inside this jar again have only the compiled code. Okay, it does not have anything more. Okay, simply the compiled code. See, functions is nothing but your package name. Functions has two classes. The same thing is here, functions package, inside that two compiled classes. Okay, this is Java. Now let me run this Java. Let us see what happens. How to run it? Simply go to the location where this jar is present. Where is this jar present? This jar is present in target. Okay, I'll simply do a cd to target. Okay, if I use this command directory, it shows me the jar file. Okay, how to run a jar file? Simply java hyphen jar maven. Okay, this is a jar. I'm running it. See, now it says no main manifest attribute. Okay, in this jar file. Okay, it says no main manifest attribute. Okay, what does that mean? So as we know, what is main method? Main method is entry point of execution. Okay, that's where your code execution starts. Okay, so uh, this error means that Maven doesn't know where the main method is. Okay, it doesn't know where the main method is, or we need to tell the Maven which class has the main method. How to tell that? So for that, okay, for that in pom.xml, we need to add a new entry. Okay, telling Maven that this is the main class. Okay, we'll add that. So this is on sample pom.xml. Just to make things fast, I just have this one ready. Okay, see this one. We need to add this plugins configuration plugin. See here, this is jar plugin. We know what jar plugin does. It does the packaging. That means it creates the jar file. Okay, so to the same plugin I am adding this configuration. Okay, configuration inside I'm telling that main class, this is the main class. Okay, this is actually, I'll change this is for, this was for some other project. Okay, add class path equal to true. Okay, then class path prefix drivers lib. Okay, I'll explain about these two things later, these three things later. For now let us add them also. This is the important thing. Here I am telling this is my main class. This test one contains the main class. Let me copy this first. Okay, paste it in your pom.xml. One second. Okay, why it's throwing error? Build. Okay, so in under the build tags. Okay, we know that there will be Maven jar plugin. Okay, which does the packaging part of it. That means this is the plugin that actually generates the jar. Okay, so R which executes that packaging part or packaging phase of build lifecycle. There we are giving this configuration. We are telling that. Okay, we are telling that okay, what is my class name? I need to give that. Okay, which contains main. I have two classes here, first function.java, util.java. Okay, Util.java does not have main method. It just contains reusable method. Okay, this first function.java has the main method. I need to mention that there in that form.xml. How to mention? We need to give the fully qualified class name here. Okay. Okay. See, this is first function is the class, functions is the package name. So basically what I am telling, in this package, this is the class. Okay. So overall, this is the class which contains the main method. Okay. Now I save it. Okay. Before I run Maven clean install, let me show the contents of this jar file again, which was created previously. Okay. See, under that there is meta.nf folder. There is manifest.mf. See here, it does not have anything about. Okay, I'll copy and paste it here. Okay, close this, go back to this folder. Let me do a maven clean install. Okay, mvn clean install. Okay, what does this do? It first cleans this target folder, first deletes this target folder, then runs the install phase. Okay, which again creates the target folder and put all the artifacts or output of the build. Okay, build success. Okay, now I will run this time. Go to cd target. I know the file is created, the jar is at inside this target folder. I'll run that. How to run that? Java hyphen jar, give the jar. See, this time it successfully ran it. Welcome, sum is 8, goodbye. Okay, everyone could see this, right?
Yes.
Okay, so let me explain what happened. So what I did was just added this element to my pom.xml, which tells where is the main method. Okay, what this does, what it does is, this is my jar, right, which got created. If I open that, if I go to meta.nf, I will copy this, compare with the previous meta.nf. See, this time a new entry got added, main class functions dot first function. Okay, here it was not there. Now this new entry got added, which tells Maven that, or which tells um, where the main method is. Okay, it tells this in this package, this is the class which contains the main method. It will go and run that method. Okay, this is as simple as that. Just add that entry, you are done. You can run that from command line. Okay, see, this is the output. So if I do that, so add manifest entry to form.xml. This is what I'm referring to. So just add this manifest entry. Okay, now you are done. Okay, next thing, running a project having dependencies. Okay, I will create another project, uh, create a new project. I'll share all these projects to you along with this form.xml. Okay, without altering it. Right. Sometimes you will find errors for no reason. In that case, you just do this, go to this Maven update project. Okay, it will remove those unwanted errors. Now I'll create a new Maven project. Okay, again I'll skip the archetypes. Click next. Group id com dot Sidhu, and I'll name it as Maven underscore nd. Last time it was no dependencies. This time I'll name it as d. That means it has dependencies. Okay, it got created. Okay, and there is no source code in main source main Java. Similarly, there is no test code. It has this pom.xml. Okay, what I'll do, I will add hey, here I'll create the same classes. Okay, what I'll do, instead of creating the classes again, I just copy and
అయ్యో
paste it.
జీమెయిల్ ఫోల్డర్ ని రిఫర్ చేస్తుంది.
Sorry.
ఆ,
Okay, Maven dependencies. Okay, it doesn't have anything. Okay, I'll copy and paste this complete copy, paste it here. Okay, this time I'll use some dependency here. How to do that? Okay, instead of this, okay, just util.java. I don't need this. I'll put everything in a single class because just this is a demo purpose. Okay, welcome. Here I'll create a code, Selenium code. Okay, WebDriver equal to new Chrome driver. Okay, and I'll do this driver dot get. Okay, it is unable to resolve this dependency because we have not yet imported this WebDriver here. For importing, we should have this that complete jar in our build path. How to do that? Go to pom.xml. Okay, add the dependency. How to add? Okay, I'll copy from our existing Maven learning. Does it have dependency? Okay, it has the Selenium dependency. And I don't want to exclude anything. Okay, I'll remove this exclusions part. Okay, now if I go to this Maven dependencies, now it has imported all the Selenium jars. Okay, because I added the dependency. Okay, now I'll go back to my class. Here I'll import that. Okay, since I have added them here, now I am able to import them. Driver dot get uh, title is titling, and at the end I'll print goodbye. Okay, before that I'll quit the driver dot quit. So this is Now this project have dependencies. Okay, it is dependent on Selenium jar. How to do that? Okay, we'll first go back to this project cd maven d. Okay, do maven clean install. Okay, we forgot one thing. We need to add the property for Chrome driver. We need to add system dot set property key value web driver dot Chrome driver, and I'll give the path. Where is that present in my folder? D softs. Okay, here it is. Chrome driver.exe. Okay, since it is black backslash, we need to escape that. Okay, let me run this from Eclipse. Okay, so it's working fine. Now I'll do a Maven clean install. Every time you need to do some code changes, you need to build it again. So Maven clean install is nothing but you're building it. Okay, so now the artifact got created. Okay, inside this workspace maven d and the target, all there are there. Okay, we'll go to target, there run the java jar. So it first says no main manifest attribute. Okay, that means we have not provided that manifest in pom.xml. So first we need to add that. How to add that? Just go back to that here, copy the same thing, add it to here. I need to give the functions as first function. It's the same, right? Functions package and first function. Added it. I need to build it again. Okay, it said build success. I'll go to target folder where the jar got created. Okay, now I'll run java hyphen jar listen. This time we are getting a new error. This time, previously it was this like no main manifest attribute. Okay, now we have added that manifest attribute, so it's not throwing that error now. It is throwing a new error. It said java long java lang no class definition found error or openqa selenium webdriver. That means the dependency that we have added uh, is not in the class path of this project, or this uh, when we run that jar, it is unable to access this jar or this dependency, that is WebDriver dependency. Okay, you clearly got it, right? If I go to this target, okay, see in this if I open this, okay, it is the same thing, nothing new in it, okay, and it does not have any dependent jar inside it, okay, it does not have the selenium jar inside it, it doesn't have anything. See, let me open this again, okay, it's just the compiled class, okay. That means we need to somehow make available all the dependent jars to this jar. How to do that? Okay, this is uh, little important, you need to pay more attention towards this, okay. So to achieve this, I am going to do so there is something called assembly in Maven, okay. Okay, let me explain what is an assembly. What is the assembly keyword? Okay, assembly, the dictionary meaning of it is just assembling multiple things, okay. In terms of Maven, this assembly means we have the jar that got created, okay. Along with the jar, we need to put the dependent jars, okay. Dependent jars mean Selenium jar, Apache PY jar, any third party jar that we have used in our code, okay, dependent jars. Plus, if you have any configuration folders, okay, configuration folders which have all the config files, okay, config files, plus any other folders which are needed at runtime or while running the jar, okay. So the jar plus dependent jars, if there are any configuration files, okay, all the files, then if there are any other files which contain some artifacts which are needed during runtime, we assemble all of them, okay, put all of them in a single folder, okay, create a single folder, okay, which is nothing but the assembly of all these things, okay. And when we run that, in the same folder we have the jar that we need to run, we have the dependent jars that are needed for running this jar, any configuration files which this jar reads properties from, okay, another things, everything is there in this folder, we put everything in a single folder. This is called assembly. I'll show how it works, okay. So since you are all of you are real time, okay, you know how the projects are deployed in Linux servers, okay. So most of the times it's not just the jar that is deployed, basically a folder, okay, maybe your module name, if you are deploying any module, okay, functional module, so for that module there will be you'll have one folder name. In that folder you'll have the jar, you'll have the bin folder, you'll have the lib folder, you'll have the conf folder, you'll have everything. That means that is everything, all the artifacts that are required during runtime are assembled into a single folder, that is called assembly. Now we are going to do that assembly now, okay. So far what we have done, first thing we have done is added the dependency, okay, since our project is dependent on this Selenium jar. Then uh, added this manifest entry to tell uh, which class has the main method or which class is the entry point into execution, okay. Now we need to add uh, a assembly plugin which does this assembly functionality, okay, or which implements this assembly, okay. So I have that code with me. Now this is sample pom.xml. Here, see, this is the Maven assembly plugin. If I go back here, see, inside the plugin stack I need to add, just keep an eye on the this structure, okay. Inside build you will have plugins, plugin have multiple plugins, okay. So here I have added this Maven assembly plugin, okay. I'm telling the phase as package phase, that is during the package phase, this gets executed. Goal is single. Okay, you don't need to worry about, just copy paste it. Okay, here is another important thing. Okay, source main resources example.xml. Okay, so this was I'll create a new file. Okay, so basically we just added this plugin. Okay, but we have not yet told what are all the folders that we need to copy from somewhere and put in that assembled folder. Okay, so we need to tell what are the different things that should be put into that assembled folder. Okay, so here it is not there, but we are providing a configuration file, the path of the configuration file, which contains all those details. Okay, I'll do that. First of all, I'll create this this file somewhere. Okay, what I'll do, okay, here I'll create a new folder called configuration folder. Okay, conf. Okay, in this conf I'll put all the properties file, all the configuration files, whatever I need. Okay, inside the call conf I'll create a new file called uh, sample, okay, demo assembly .xml. Okay, I'll name it like this, demo assembly .xml. I just created that assembly.xml and I need to provide all the configurations in that folder. So I have the sample assembly.xml with me. Okay, okay, first thing I'll do is I'll provide the formats. Okay, assembly, I'll add assembly tag to it. It starts with assembly tag. Okay, inside assembly tag I'll first put this formats. Okay, and I'll put another line. I'll put the third entity in it. uh, Copy the file sets. Okay, I'll only put this for now, dependency sets. Okay, under the dependency sets I am telling unpack false scope runtime. See, output directory lib. So basically what are dependency sets? They are nothing but the all the dependent jars. Okay, and we are defining output directory, that is /lib. So what we are telling is, let's not have this, telling is put all the dependent jar in this folder. Okay, and create assembly folder. Okay, okay, first let me run this and explain things. So conf demo assembly.xml. Now in my main pom, okay, now you'll have two configuration files. The major one is pom.xml. Okay, pom.xml refers to in this pom.xml we have added this Maven assembly plugin. Okay, to this plugin we have provided conf slash demo assembly .xml. Okay, so what I am telling is, to this plugin the configuration file is demo assembly.xml. This demo assembly.xml has this data. Okay, now let me do a Maven clean install. Remember, when you are doing Maven clean install, it tries to delete target folder. if you are inside this target folder, okay, then the build fails. Okay, let me show. Once I did Maven clean install. Okay, here I am. Oh, I am not inside the Maven folder. Okay, don't worry. Okay, it said build success. Okay, now I'll go inside target folder. Okay, now you'll see many other things. You see this new folder, you see this star.gz. Okay, these two are the new things. The remaining things are previously there. These things got added after this assembly. Okay, okay. Let us get back to this later. We'll go inside this folder. This is actually your assembly folder where all the artifacts are assembled into single folder. Now you can give this folder to anyone. They can directly deploy it, or they put it somewhere and run the job. Okay, now let me go inside this folder. Here you will see this lib. Okay, it has copied all the libs inside it. Okay, so we missed the major one, that is the jar. Okay, there is no jar here, right? So jar is needed. Okay, so we'll go and add this one, file set. So this I need to add this to. Okay, will come out. Okay, and do Maven clean install. So in the new line that I have added, I am telling that from the project build directory, okay, copy the star.jar, copy all the jar files. First of all, what is the project build directory? That is nothing but our target directory. Okay, we'll go here. Build is still in progress. Wait. Hold on. Okay, build success. Okay, now we'll go inside target. We'll go into this assembly folder. Okay, see now the jar is there. Okay, the main jar. So okay, basically inside the file sets, I added this piece of code, right? Okay, I'll open it here. Okay, I will added this piece of code, file sets. This variable project.build directory, that means target folder. Okay, this is the target folder. Okay, output directory is the actually your this is the output directory. Okay, that is the assemble directory. Okay, include star.jar. What I am telling is copy all the star.jar files into this location. Okay, how many jar files are there here in the inside this target folder? There is only one jar is there, so that got copied over here. Okay, basically after building, inside the target all the build output is created. What you are doing is you simply copying the build output into a single folder to in order to assemble all the things at a single place. Okay, here I copied the jar file. Okay, now I have my jar, also the library files that are needed for the execution. Now I'll go and run it. Go to target folder. This time I will not run from the target. Okay, I don't want to run from the target. Okay, see in this folder there is no lib. Okay, there is no lib directory which contains all the dependencies. Lib directory is there inside this assembly folder. Here it is there, right? So now I'll go to this folder and not in target folder. I'll go inside this folder and run my jar from there. Okay, cd target. This is the assembly folder. From here I'll run java-jar. What is the name of the file? This is the jar. See, now it is able to access the WebDriver class also. It has successfully executed that. Okay, all that we did is using assembly plugin, we assembled the jar and all the dependent jars into a single folder. Okay, nothing but the assembly folder. Okay, this is what we did. Okay, and what about this star.gz? This is nothing but compressed folder. The same, this folder is compressed and the star.gz is created, so that if you want to share your project to anyone, you will share this. Okay, so for sharing, this is compressed, right? The size will be small. It's just 18.5 MB. If I see the size of this folder, this is 21.5 MB. And this is 18.5 MB. So this is compressed version of the same thing. If I extract here, extract this, I'll get the same thing. Yeah, same folder. Just for sharing to others, this is getting created. Okay. Okay, I'll show that too. Just remember the contents here. There is one tar.gz. Okay. Okay. What I'll do, I'll create a screenshot to compare. New. Just to take the screenshot of it. Okay. Now I'll go back to my assembly.xml. Here I need only directory. That is, directory refers to this folder. This folder. Okay. And this tar.gz refers to this one. Okay, that means you need to I need the assembly folder as well as the compressed assembly folder. So here if I comment this out, run this again. Okay, we'll run Maven clean install. Okay, now I'll go back to this folder inside the target folder. Now see, there is no tar.gz file. Okay, if I compare this with the previous screenshot, see, this file is not there. This one. Okay, tar.gz, because that is not there because in the format section I have not given that. Okay, and since I have given only directory, the directory got created. This time I'll do the opposite of it. What I'll do, I'll comment this out. Let us see what happens. So this time this folder should not be there and the tar.gz should be there. Okay, build success. We'll go and see inside the target folder. See, now there is no that folder. If I compare this with, so this folder is not there, only .gz is there. Okay, that is defined using this thing. So basically what you are telling using this assembly.xml is uh, what are different output formats that you need. Okay, and what are the different file sets. Okay, using dependency sets I am telling that I want all the dependent jars inside this lib folder. That is there, right? Okay, okay, we'll change it back. Okay, run this. Okay, we'll go back inside the target. This is there. Okay, here it has this remember your dependent jars won't go into your actual jar. So it has the same thing. There is nothing new in it, the previous thing. Even after adding assembly, your jar is unchanged. Only thing that is changed is you got your lib also created in the new assembly folder. Okay, okay, now in the same way we'll create the other files that we were talking about, like we might need this um, config files. Okay, okay, we'll do one thing. If I go back to this code here, see I have added d soft chrome driver.exe. Okay, this is not a good way. Suppose if I build this and share this folder or this folder to you, and when you run this, okay, you will get errors because it will go and look for this chrome driver.exe in your local, okay, in your local d folder. So that's not good. For that, what we'll do, we'll create a new folder inside the project itself. Okay, here I'll create a folder called drivers. Okay, and I'll copy that file into drivers, so that this is my chrome driver.exe. um, I'll copy it here. Okay, and here instead of doing that, I'll simply give the relative path conf chrome driver.exe. Okay, what it does is simply go and look inside this uh, project root folder. In that root folder it will look for the, sorry, drivers. Okay, drivers folder. Inside driver folder it will look for this chrome driver.exe. Okay, okay, now I have made changes. I'll go back, do the maven clean install. Okay, build success. I'll go to my workspace, Maven D, target, folder. Here just the same old things. From here I'll run that cd target. What is the assembly folder? This is the assembly folder. I'll run the jar. Let us see what happens. Java-jar. See, target mounts on drivers chrome.exe. That means exception thread main illegal state exception. The driver executable does not exist. See workspace maven d. Okay, target. Okay, so see inside this target folder. Okay, it is looking for this inside this target. This is the assembly folder. Okay, then drivers chrome.exe. It is basically looking for that chrome.exe inside this assembly folder. It is expecting something like this new uh, drivers. Okay, inside the drivers it is expecting that chrome.exe, but it's not there. That means we need to configure our assembly.xml to copy that also into this folder, because during runtime it requires chrome.exe. Okay, we'll add that too. Okay, simply go to this assembly.xml, direct it assembly.xml inside the file sets, add this file set. Okay, this time what it does, so this time it looks for project base directory drivers. Okay, there is a difference between project base directory and project build directory. Project base directory is your actual project base directory. Okay, project build directory is your target directory. Okay, project base directory your this maven d actual parent directory. Build directory is the place where your build output is present. That is nothing but the target directory. Okay, here what we are telling is copy these drivers or the complete drivers folder present in base directory. That means here these drivers. Okay, copy these complete drivers present in this parent directory into drivers. What does that mean? Into, that means that simple. This so output directory is always inside your build directory, that is target. Okay, and this your assembly folder. Okay, inside the assembly folder copy these drivers that it is telling. Okay, let me repeat this again. It is telling that from your project root directory copy these drivers, paste it inside your assembly. Now you'll have this drivers folder also. Okay, let me run this. Kalyan, Kalyan,
Ajit.
you are already there in the call, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, so very simple thing, just copy the drivers folders also this time. We'll do a clean install. Go back to, remember, all the maven commands should be executed in your parent root project root directory. Okay, Okay, let us go and see inside this folder. Okay, this is your assembly folder. Inside this assembly folder, now you got the drivers folder also with the Chrome driver. Okay, that means for running this jar you not only need your lib that contains the third party directions and also need the Chrome driver binary, right? Okay, now when you share this folder to someone, okay, it is present in this folder itself, which is relative to this folder itself, so that it will be run irrespective of the machine in which you are running. Okay, let's say if I share this folder to you or someone else, or well, everyone can run this without any failure. Let us run this. Go to target, go to assembly folder, there run this. See, now it is successfully run because it has that binary in that folder itself. That means in this assembly folder I have also put the drivers folder which contains all the drivers needed for running this jar. Okay, similarly I'll put one last folder. Okay, which contains the configuration. It is very common that it can every project contains some configuration folder which contains all the properties. Okay, so we'll add conf folder also. We have already created a conf folder here in our project along with the drivers folder. Okay, conf folder. Now I need to tell this assembly.xml to copy these conf folders also into your assembly folder. Okay, how to do that? Very simple. Add a new file set. Okay, here you need to copy conf. So this is something like filter. Okay, you can add something like, you can include star dot star. That means it is copying all the files present in conf folder into conf. Sorry. Okay, now in your project base directory, whatever the conf file that is present, copy complete conf folder into your assembly folder. Okay, here I am telling copy include star dot star. That means include all of them. Suppose if I tell only star dot jar, that copies only jar files. Okay, if I tell star dot properties, that copies only properties files. Sometimes in your configuration folder you can have both the XML configuration file dot properties files, right? If you want only XML files and not properties file, you can do it like this. If you want all of them, you can do it like this. This is just simple filter. Okay, now let us see. In our assembly folder currently there is no conf folder, right? If we do clean install now, build success. If I go inside this folder, target, see now conf folder also is there. Okay, see, so who is doing this magic? This file, this assembly.file. Here I am telling what to do. Okay, what is the source folder? Okay, where to copy it. Similarly, what is the source folder? Where to copy it. What is the source folder? Where to copy it. And also for the dependent jars are not like other plain folders like drivers folder and conf folder. So basically this is a dependency set, right? For this they will not come into your file sets. Okay, like your drivers folder and conf folder. For this this is the separate element that you need to add to this thing. Okay, it will directly copy all the dependent jars into your lib folder present in assembly. folder. Okay, this is about assembly.xml. So this is about assembly. Now you know, okay, what is assembly, how to run jar files which have dependencies. Okay, so if I repeat the steps for this, first thing we did was added the dependency. Okay, then tell which is the main class, this is the manifest. Okay, then for assembly purpose I have added this Maven assembly plugin, and to this I pointed this plugin to this configuration file which has complete assembly configuration. So this is that file. Okay, in that file I have added these things. This is it. Okay, so so far uh, everything is understood, right? Anyone have any queries?
Okay.
Okay, this is, I'll share the projects as it is to you. Okay, you practice it once, step by step, in the same way I did. Okay, trust me, it took a lot of time for me to come up with these things. So I have spent good amount of time. So while during my developing my frameworks in my company, okay, I had to spend a lot of time, and before this session also, I need to go through many other things, come up with this simple sequence of steps for you to understand what to do. Okay, so if you need to be good at building frameworks from scratch on your own, so you should be knowing Maven thoroughly. Okay, all that you need to do is just practice what I have been telling to you. Okay, that should be sufficient. Okay, last topic for today is Maven build profiles. Okay, so profiles you might have heard many times. Okay, every project which uses Maven mostly uses profiles, like profile for production, profile for QA environment, profile for dev environment. That means it is basically, profile is nothing but a set of configuration values. Okay, like host, database, database host, username, password, kind of stuff. Okay, so those values are different in different environments, right? Production, those values will be different. Suppose there is www.sidhu.com is my production site. In QA environment, my site host is dev.sidhu.com. Sorry, in dev environment. In QA environment, its address is qa.sidhu.com. Similarly, database host, usernames, passwords, many things, many things. I mean, database usernames, database passwords. Okay, database connections, all are different in different environments. So to maintain those things, profiles are there. What you will do, instead of giving the, you'll have properties files from which all the properties are read. Suppose you are there is one file, this is my properties file. Suppose it has name like server dot host equal to sidhu.com. Okay, then server dot db dot host. Okay, it's like something like some IP. Okay, some IP, then db username equal to some root db password. So these are all values that are required in your code. db dot password, I'll give some xyz. Okay, so this is my production environment. If I need to maintain these values for the other environments too, I need to do something like this: server dev dot for QA, we'll give something like QA dot Here I'll give production dot. Okay. Okay. Something like I need to give this. Okay. So this is little bit. It's multiplying your uh, property files or properties, the number of properties, and also in your code you need to handle if environment is production, then take this. If environment is dev, then take this property, like that. Okay. So this is not a good idea to maintain properties like this. Other way to do it is just have only one set of properties. Okay. Okay, just have one set of properties. Here, instead of giving the values like this, just have the placeholders like this. Server dot host. Okay, just give it. Let both things not be the same. db underscore host, db underscore username, just the property name. Okay, here I'll give some placeholders like this. Dollar. I'll link something like db dot host username password. Okay, so I'll give the placeholders. Okay, and by some means, based on the environment, I'll send these values. Okay, this is nothing but the variables. Okay, if production environment, okay, I'll pass this value for this. If dev environment, I'll pass this value. Okay, dev.sidhu.com. Okay, it's for the different setting, I'll keep it something like sidhu.com, qa.sidhu.com. Okay, and also IPs. These things change. Okay, you know that. So instead of maintaining different properties based on the environment, what we'll maintain the standard set of properties. Okay, and give placeholders like this in your configuration file and not provide the actual values. Maven, by some means, based on the environment we are executing, where we want to deploy or where we want to deploy. Okay, it replaces these values with the actual values. Okay, how to do that? There is a way to do that. In Maven, if I go back to this sample pom.xml, okay, there is something called profiles. Okay, profiles, I can create multiple profiles: QA, production. I can have another profile for dev, like that. Okay, here I'll have this is server host. Okay, uh, if you compare this is server host, right? This is server host. Okay, and here I define that. Okay, in case of okay, in case of QA, server host is, I just gave this dummy value, I am the QA host. In case of production, the value is I am the production host. Okay, something like this. Yes. And while doing Maven clean install, I'll pass the profile. If I pass profile as QA, then this value get replaced by this server.host will get replaced by this value. I am the QA host. If I pass the profile as production, then this value gets replaced by this value. Okay, basically we are defining all the profiles here and giving the placeholders in your configuration files. Maven takes care of uh, replacing those values with the actual values. This process of replacing placeholders with the actual values is called as filtering in Maven. Filtering. Okay, we'll see the example of that. Before that, I'll create some configuration file. This is basically this is a demo. Well, I'll create a new file called config dot properties. Okay. Okay. In this, I'll add properties like this: server underscore host equal to. I'll not give the placeholder directly. Make use of it in our project. How to do that? Server host is my. I am the server host. Okay, and db underscore host equal to I am the db host. Okay, and I'll make use of these properties in my actual class. Okay, here what I'll do, just for sample purpose, I'll read this. What happened? What happened? Okay, we'll just uh, properties props equal to new properties. I want to read the properties from that config.properties. Okay, here props, first we need to load all the properties from this properties file into your properties object. Properties object is props dot load. To that we need to pass the input stream. I'll pass new file input stream. Okay, file is new file. Where is that present? Conf slash config dot properties. I need to import this file java.io. Okay, then it's time to read the values. System out println props dot. Now I had loaded in this step. Next step is just dot get property. Give the property name. What is the property name? Server host. Next one is db host. Okay, here I'll print just to differentiate server host db. Okay, if I run this, what happened? It's showing null. Conf same, right? Maven D, here I am in Maven D. Server underscore host equal to, very sorry. Okay. Okay, server host is I am the server host, DB host is I am the DB host. Wait is there. Okay, so now it's reading the values, and if I do the same thing to Maven clean install, let's see what happens. We'll do Maven clean install. We'll take another 10 minutes. Okay, we'll finish the class in 10 minutes. Okay, so if I go this into this folder, Maven D target, inside this folder, now see inside conf folder there is config.properties also. Okay, because um, in our assembly, this assembly, we told the assembly to add this conf also. Okay, from take copy this conf folder from project root directory and put that in your assembly directory. That's why it is put in this folder. Okay, conf. So if I run from inside this folder, then for that conf is also accessible there. It will run without any issues. Cd target assembly folder java -jar jar. See it see, you could see I am the server host, I am the DB host. It could find that because in the assembly folder this conf folder is also there. Okay, if we don't add this conf folder, then it will throw error because file not found, because since conf folder itself is not there, there is no properties folder inside it. We are trying to read the properties file, that's why it will throw the error. Okay, but we have added that. So now we have that. Next thing is to implement profiles. Okay, suppose if I want if I run this in qn environment, I want something like I am the QA server host. Okay, I am QA DB server DB host. If I run it in production environment, it should be like I am uh, QA server host. I am QA DB host, something like that. Because based on the environment, the value should change. Okay, without any change in your code, okay, we should be able to change those values based on the environment. So first thing we need to do is, okay, here add the placeholders like this, dot like this. Okay, um, give a no server dot host. This is just a variable name. Okay, db dot host. Okay, next thing is, in your pom.xml, add profile section which has values for these configuration properties per environment. How to do that? If I go to my sample pom.xml, I'll copy profiles part from it. Okay, we'll paste in my maven pom.xml at the very end. Okay, here see I have created one profile for QA, one profile for production. Okay, so ID QMIN, that is the name of the profile. Property server.host. Here I need to give I am the QA host. Okay, okay. About this activation, I'll tell you later. Similarly, for production, I am giving I am the production host. Similarly, we'll add the second property also, second configuration, that is db.host. I am the QA DB host. You can add n number of parameters like that. Okay, there is no restriction. I am the production DB host. Okay, so now you have added profile section in your pom.xml, and in your configuration file you have added the placeholder. Now it's time to replace that. How to replace that? For that, there is a third step that we need to do. Okay, just now I told you that the process of replacing the placeholders with the actual values is called filtering. Okay, so we need to add something in pom.xml, some piece of some element in pom.xml, uh, which tells we should do filtering. Okay, if I go back to this sample pom.xml, so there is this piece of code, plugins, resources, sorry, from resources to resources. We'll copy this. So it's inside the build only. It's inside the build only. I'll add it inside the build only. Okay, see this comment, placeholders that are found from the files located in the configured directories are placed with the property values found from the profile specific configuration file. That means these folders are these placeholders are replaced with the values from this profiles. Okay, that is it's trying to say. Okay, here we need to do something. Okay, directly we need to tell where is that conf. Okay, see where are our properties file present? Inside conf. I have this configuration properties file. Okay, and I need to tell this second line also. And that is source main again conf. Okay, what to include? All the properties files. Okay, so that means I don't want this .xml because this is not needed right at runtime. This is needed only during build phase. Okay, so I just put that is based on your requirement. So this filtering is true. This is very important. So basically what I am trying to do is go to this conf folder in your project based directory. That means this conf folder. Okay. Look for all the properties file, all the files with dot properties file. Okay. Then apply filtering. That means replace the placeholders with the actual values. Okay. And put them in your project build directory, that is your target. Okay. Target conf folder. Okay. Put them in your target conf folder. Okay. This is what I am telling. Again, go to the conf folder. Okay. Present in your project based directory, that is this folder. Okay. Look for all the dot properties file. Okay. On those properties file, do the filtering. Okay. Once the filtering done, that means once all the placeholders are replaced with actual values, copy that file into this location. Okay. This is what it is telling. Now I'll do Maven clean install. I need to go back to the folder, do Maven clean install. Okay, we missed one thing. We need to provide this -pqa. Okay, -pqa or -p production. We need to tell which profile we need to use. Then only it will replace. But if you see this one, this piece of code in your profile, okay, there is one QA profile and there is one production profile. Okay, but only QA profile has this element, that is activation element, that is active by default, equal to true. But for production it is not there. It means if you don't provide any profile, okay, then by default take this as the default profile or use this profile. This is the meaning of it. Here by mistake I just gave this Maven clean install. Ideally I should give it something like this, p profile name QA. I should give it like this. Even though I did not give it, successfully built it because I have added this as the default. So that means in case we don't provide any profile during Maven clean install, then it will take QA as the default profile. Okay, we'll go and see inside the folders. First we'll go into the root directory and see the conf file present there. It is server host. Okay, it has these values. Okay, now I'll go into the target. Okay, conf. See, it got replaced. Okay, it got replaced and placed here. Okay, see, I am not inside this folder. Okay, inside this folder if I go and double click it, it's still the same thing. Okay, we missed one thing, I'll tell that. Okay, but inside this target folder there is one conf folder that got created. Here there is the value got replaced. Okay, you'll see the file with the replaced values or with which got filtered successfully. Okay, why? Because here we told it right here. Okay, so after applying, place it in project build directory. What is project build directory? This is not assembly directory, this is build directory. That's nothing but your target directory. Okay, place the your copy your complete conf folder into target directory. Okay, that's what happened here. So inside the target, the conf folder got created with the filtered properties file. Okay, now we want the same thing should be copied into your final folder, this assembly also, because this is the one which is being executed, right? Anyone who wants to execute, this is the place where they execute, right? Here it is still the same old one because we missed one thing. Because if I go to assembly file, see what I have told. inside the copy conf folder into this assembly directory. Okay, it's copying, but copying from where? From project base directory. Okay, this is project base directory. Anyhow, it will have this only. Okay, project base directory. So this is where we created. This is the project base directory, right? Okay, we created intentionally with the placeholders. Okay, after build, okay, then it will go and create it in target folder. Okay, in target, your conf folder is there. Here it will have filtered values. Okay, it will have replaced values, but in your actual direct the conf folder present in your project root directory, it will always have these values. Okay, so only after the build, that means uh, only after the build only that file will have replaced values. Okay, so you know the target folder contains all the build output, that's why it's there, so it has replaced values. Okay, just remember what I am trying to say is your conf folder will always be the same because your project root folder. Okay, okay. This is the input to your build or your code. Okay, your build Maven filters the all placeholder present in this file. Okay, copy that filtered file here. Okay, here. During this assembly, what we did, instead of copying this into your assembly folder, we copied this folder present in source directory. Okay, that's why since it has this placeholder, the same file got copied into my config. Okay, but I need to copy this, right? I need to copy this over here. What to do that? Just change this from instead of project base directory to change it to project build directory. So I want to copy the config folder present in project build directory to conf. Okay, now we'll do manually install. And now also I have not provided the profile. We'll give next time. Okay. Since I have not provided profile, okay. What happened? Execute goal on project, clean project. Fail to delete on folder. Okay. We'll come out of this folder. Okay, done. Now I'll check in my project root folder. It's not build directory. Okay, it's not target folder. Here I'll go and check it. Okay, it will have the same values because this will be the input to actually your Maven builder or code. Okay, so this file will not get altered. Now if I go to target folder, I'll see the con presented. Here you will see the filtered output. Okay, the file values got changed. Now if I go to this assembly folder, go to conf, see this. Here also the values got changed. Now if I run this, see, it is saying I am the QA host, I am the QADB host. Okay, very simple. Everything is configuration. Now if I go back, okay, do a maven clean install with -p production. Okay, so we need to give this name. What is the name? From prom.xml, this is the name. Okay, -p pro. What happened? You need to be out of the folder, okay, while doing this man clean, out of the target folder, because it tries to delete the target folder. What happened? Did I open anything new? Okay, build success. If I go inside this target, I'll directly go to assembly. We'll see what this configure properties is. See, now it has I am the production host. I am the production host. If I run this, see, it is printing that. I just for this is just a dummy case. I am actually printing those values, but in real time, this is actually used for building, constructing DB URLs for querying data. Okay, and in case of our in case of selenium, suppose in our case how we use them is, suppose we need some xyz application that we need to access. What we need to do, we need to open www.xyz.com, okay, which is in production. You run your automation tests on it. Okay, you log in, you try to log in, you do some functionality. Okay, just you run all the selenium tests on it. Suppose you have multiple environments where you want to run your tests. Okay, you have your QA environment where it's not where the website address is qa.xyz.com. It's not xyz.com, it's qa.xyz.com. In that case, you create profile for your QA environment and production environment. So if you want to run that against QA environment, you just while building, you pass -p qa to it. Okay, it takes the URL as qs.xyz.com, and your all your Selenium test case, while opening the browser, they do this driver.get URL, right? Driver.get your test.xyz.com. If it is production, they do driver.get xyz.com. Okay, this is how we can use in our application. If there are any other properties which change based on the environment, we put all of them um, in our profiles. Okay, so this is about profiles. Anyone have any questions? Hope you understood.
It's a more
So,
complexity
so it is
comes to that.
complex. Okay, uh, the basically